Now it's time to talk to our representative in Raleighwood. That would be the Mr. Efton Sager. I'm glad you're here, Efton. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
All right. It helps to have everything in place, right?
Yes, it does.
All right. So, Efton Sager, now at the end of today's broadcast, in the next 10 minutes or so, I understand you have a special announcement you're going to be making.
I sure do.
All right. Well, then, and we await that happening here in the next few minutes. First of all, let's talk about what's been going on in Raleigh and at the House and what's going to be going on coming up.
Well, Wayne, for one thing, we go back in session for one day on the 16th,
Mm-hmm.
and supposedly, I mean, we may be able to take up some energy bills at that time. We don't know. It depends on how the lay of the land goes and what's transpiring as far as working with the governor's office and so forth. Of course, we got a lot of changes now. Got a lot of people that we're going to be talking about that might enter the governor's race. But I think that we've got what we're really concerned about is the fact that we had bills that we tried to pass previously that we couldn't pass that had to do with energy and jobs, and we certainly need both. And of course, some of them are tied together. One of them is for drilling oil and natural gas off the coast of North Carolina. The other thing is the fact that they've been working and been studying and with the new organization as far as the transportation organization that I think we're going to get a answer sometime soon on how we're going to progress as far as moving forward as far as our infrastructure and our for rail and so forth and the ports. And I'm looking forward to that because to me, if we don't get that taken care of, we're missing a real chance to generate jobs, generate the economy in eastern North Carolina as far as agriculture and as far as the military is concerned. And we have to do something in that area. If not, we're going to lose billions of dollars, and we need that.
I guess part of the responsibility of the House of Representatives, North Carolina, is to look into that crystal ball and see what we're going to need 20 years from now, or 50 years from now. And does part of that includes the ports?
Oh, I have no doubt about it.
Deeper ports and access, the inland ports as well, rail systems and such. How do you address the opponents? And why would anyone oppose that?
You know, I have a hard time understanding sometimes the argument from the other side, why they would oppose any of this. And, of course, I've been very fortunate to have two constituents living in my area that have advised me well as far as what we need to do. Mm-hmm. And Sandy Corsham and Earl Brinkley from Wallace. And there, of course, Earl has been part of this study as far as what we need to do. And I heard from Senator Daniel the other day that we should have an announcement by the 15th of this month of exactly what their recommendations are. Okay. And I'm looking forward to that because, I mean, I know we've got some PR to do in Moorhead area and also in the Southport area as far as trying to get those people to come on board because when you get opposition, it slows things down. But it's obvious that we're going to have probably a public-private partnership as far as trying to get some of this infrastructure as far as rail and so forth, maybe out of Moorhead. And I've got the Eastern Region working with me on that also. I'm looking forward to working with them. Anybody that I can help, anything that I can turn a page or something that might help, I'm there for them.
How does the Global Transport play into this?
Global Transport plays quite a bit of part because, like I said, they've been part of this study committee, and they also, one of the distribution centers would probably be at the Global Transport. And John, I forget his last name, but
John Smith.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always try to associate with the Army base in Arkansas, but it don't come to me right now. His last name's similar to that. But anyhow, we've been in touch, and like I said, I think things are moving in that area. And I just another thing, Wayne, that I'd like to discuss this morning is the fact that the Relay for Life. I went for the opening of that this last Thursday night.
Right.
And you know what a great group of people we've got working in that. Last year they had the most of any team in the state of North Carolina. And that includes Wake County, that includes Mecklenburg County, Guilford County, and also over in Wake Forest in that area. I mean, and when we can do that, they had 470,000 or something like that last time.
Wow.
Year, I think. And this year their goal is 500,000, and they'll get it. because I mean we've already at our team at Brogdon United Methodist Church, we've already committed that we're going to double what we did last year.
Right. Well, I'm not surprised at that, because given the history of volunteerism and people helping people here in Wayne County, I'm not surprised at that at all. We live in probably the most wonderful place in North Carolina right here, because people know what they need to do to help other people.
There are no more caring people anywhere, and I'll say that, and I'll stand on my soapbox any day and say that, than there are in Wayne County.
There you go.
And I want to tell you something. I mean, and cancer, for one thing, there isn't any family that hasn't been affected by it, and of course that's reason people step up to the plate, because they have been touched, but we got such Southeastern Medical Oncology Center here, one of the best in the world.
And that's true.
And I want to tell you something, that we just have to be real proud that we got a unit like that here, and anytime that you can support those folks, you need to do it.
That's true.
And a dollar here and a dollar there that you're going to spend somewhere else would be greatly appreciated in that area. There and the Red Cross, and of course, those are my two areas that I really want to support.
Yes. Any final words before you make your announcement?
Well, no. I mean, I think I could probably proceed on the announcement.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. You have the floor, but you got to give it back.
Well, Wayne, I studied quite some time, and at one time I had not intended to run for re-election. But when they got through with the districts, and I saw how they were cut up, and there's a possibility that we wouldn't have anybody living in Wayne County representing Wayne County, I said, well, Efton, you've been representing some wonderful people, and I said, I'm not going to let them down. We're going to have somebody that is at least trying to win that seat back for the people of Wayne County, and I will be filing on the 13th, which will be next Monday. And I hope that based on my record, as far as a county commissioner for 8 years and 4 years in the House, that people think that I am concerned about them. Constituency service is a thing that I'm really concerned about. And I hope folks know that they can always contact me. I'm always available. And I'm sure that there's probably some of those that have supported me, that there's been a few areas that they have not been satisfied with what I've done. But look, Jesus Christ couldn't even satisfy everybody. So I mean, like I said, I'm doing the best I can. I've always run on trust, integrity, fairness, and common sense, and I answer to a higher calling even than my constituents. I am going to try to do what's right. Sometimes it's hard to stand up and speak up for a cause when you're going to get a lot of flack from a certain area. But we need to know when to stand up, we know when to speak up, we know when to shut up, and we know when to sit down. And I do my best to try to be answer to all of those at all times. And I'm going to miss being on this program, because since I will be filing and the other candidate will be filing also, then we have to have equal time. And since I understand the situation, and of course he runs a newspaper article in a paper in Duplin County, so he's going to have to cut off his newspaper article too. So I mean, I am looking forward to serving the people of Wayne County again, and if it's their desire for me to go back to Raleigh and it's God's will, I'll be there, and I'll be there for you.
And if anyone wanted to talk to you about issues or your campaign or anything like that, how do they contact you?
Absolutely. And first of all, let me say, please check out my website. It's eftonsager.org. You got all kinds of information on there. If you desire to contribute to my campaign, it tells you how you can do that on there also. And I'm looking forward to run this campaign. It's tough to try to run a campaign and still try to do the job. I think any candidate that has to do both of those, I even as a county commissioner, it was always tough. And I've been fortunate enough, I've got two individuals that I have previously ran against in a campaign that are working with me on my campaign, and that makes me feel wonderful.
Wonderful. Representative Efton Sager, thank you so much.
And
furthermore,
I did not answer your question. It's 922-1484 is my contact phone number, and I'm sorry, Wayne.
That's okay.
I got carried away.
I know, but that's okay. Well, give me that number one more time.
It's 922-1484 is my cell number.
Is that a 919 area code?
That is 919 area. So if you're outside of the area, like in Duplin County, you might need to dial 919.
919-922-1484. Efton Sager, it's been a pleasure being with you all these weeks, and I thank you very much, sir, and we'll see you or talk to you after the election.
And Wayne, I will miss these 2.5 years we've been coming on here every Monday morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.